Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wealth Tom with me, your host, Norbert BM, bringing you the top economic events that you need to know before the bell. So let's get started with today's economic events. We already had unemployment rate from Britain, which came in better than expected. Then we have from Germany, the economic sentiment, which came in, well, worse than expected. And then we have from Canada the inflation rate that is still not out. It seems to be, it is expected to drop 0.2%. Looking forward on tomorrow, we're going to have inflation rate from the UK and the ECB is going to have its talk. Now, let's take a look at the S&P 500. It closed up the day positive once again. The Nasdaq closed up the day also positive with 0.82%. The S&P was 0.77%, so they're pretty neck and neck there. Then we have the Dow Jones again coming in as the worst performer of the three, but still in the positive with 0.47% in the green. So until now, the last week and this week is going just perfectly. Now let's take a look at futures today, which seems to be opening up the S&P 500 at least. Opening up in the negative, but we are just 0.07% in the negative. We have the Nasdaq also in the negative with 0.2%. Now remember, this can vary a bit just because the Nvidia, so the technology sector has such a big weighting in the Nasdaq. So let's talk a bit about commodities. We have WTI, crude oil, the entire oil sector is dumping just to the fact that it seems that China does not stimulate as much as we hope for. And also Iran expects a retaliation from Israel, but not on its oil field, meaning there is not going to be that much of a distress in the oil market. So supply and demand will be not constrained. This is why oil prices are sinking. This also is going to influence inflation, but just a tinge. Inflation in the US is not that much influenced by energy. Also looking at gold, we see gold rising again. It had a very good week, but it definitely had a good year. So it seems that gold is going up and up and up, probably due to weaker dollar. If we take a look at the Forex, we see dollar losing some strength against the euro and against the British pound. Let's talk a bit about crypto. Also, Bitcoin is seeming to give up a bit of its gain. It reached 66,000 overnight. It had a really good run, exceptional run over 1 month, almost 10% in 1 month. But we do also see a all in all really bullish run in the markets. So be careful there. We're reaching oversold conditions. Not yet, but we are reaching oversold conditions. Okay, so let's talk about earnings. Today, there are big banks reporting earnings and also a couple of big companies. First of them will be United Health Group, going to report earnings later in the day, but before the bell. All of them are going to report before the bell. Next up, we're going to have Johnson & Johnson also reporting earnings before the bell. Johnson & Johnson had a really interesting year. It's up 2.98% on the year, but the last 6 months, it really ripped, gaining 11%. It is down on the day, almost hitting the zero mark. So let's see how their earnings will fare with the price. Then we have Bank of America reporting earnings, one of the big banks, and then we have Goldman Sachs. Quickly back to Bank of America, you do know that Warren Buffett again reduced his position 9.99%, which is under 10%, so he needs to disclose now shares in Bank of America. So Goldman Sachs also due to report earnings. Goldman Sachs is up in the pre-market, pretty much good up. It also was up in the entire week, so let's see how Goldman Sachs will report earnings and what they're, because the Goldman Sachs is actually one of those investment banks. So it's not, it pretty much tells us where investments are going. And also all of the transfer for AI startups most likely go through Goldman Sachs. Next up, we have Citibank also reporting earnings for today. And then we have Charles Schwab. And we're pretty much closing up our day with Schwab. Well, there are many more earnings, but these are the billion ones, those in the billions. The market cap. So guys, what do you think? Will they crush earnings? Will they flop? Pretty excited about the third quarter. I do have a couple of stakes in a couple of these companies. For those of you who follow me on Substack, know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, subscribe to the channel and like this video. If you subscribe to the channel, don't forget we post from Mondays to Fridays, and then we have on the weekends, we have a portfolio review where we're going through what we bought and what we sold. So definitely click that notification bell in order to get notified when we post new videos. With this being said, I'm Norbert BM, wishing you a lovely day. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.